Well, internal democracy, no doubt, is key here, especially within states' chapter of political parties. We saw what has just happened in Edo State, and it's still happening there. But in Kaduna State, for someone who's been around in politics, what form of internal democracy are we likely to see in the APC now that you're the chairman?
Yeah, incidentally, I was in the House of Representatives, like you said, when we agreed that parties should not be at liberty to conduct their affairs the way they wanted. They must be subject to some kind of an internal democracy, and which they must guarantee internal democracy, because, you know, gone are the days when a party chairman will remove the name of an aspirant at the last minute, or a candidate for that matter at the last minute, and put the name of a candidate of his choice. That the Electoral Act has taken care of. But in addition to that, one thing I've realized as an individual who has been in politics for quite some time and that has been interested in the rule of law and the due process is that, you see, our democracy is constitutional democracy, or if you like, participatory democracy. That is what makes it significantly different from military dictatorship. But these are issues that have not been guaranteed the people adequately. When the Constitution, under the fundamental objectives and directive principles of state policy, guaranteed to the people that they own sovereignty, and also guaranteed in, you know, down there, their participation in government, nobody has made any effort. I don't think adequate effort has been made, particularly by the political party leadership, who stand in between the elected and the electorate, to ensure that the electorate actually enjoy that provision of the Constitution, that which the Constitution guaranteed them.
Is that enforceable?
And that is participation in particular, and sovereignty. Here, what we intend to do as a new leadership in the APC is to ensure that that happens, rather than leave everything to the whims and caprices of the elected officials. One, we need to be part of developing the policy of government and remain custodians of such policies, you know, and ensure that as we move on, that those policies are strictly adhered to. And that we cannot do without having a research department, for example, as a political party. I do remember that the last I heard of that was during the UPN days under Awolowo, when the UPN was deeply involved in research. Because the political parties, as far as I'm concerned, are not just about getting people into office, but it is about guaranteeing that those promises made the people through the political party are strictly adhered to. That is one. We intend to take the elected leaders of the party through some kind of training, just rudimentary training, to do with the Constitution, for example, to do with fundamental objectives of government. The political leaders should be adequately informed, adequately educated about their role, and that we intend to do. Like I said, we have to develop a legislative agenda for our legislators and a legislative calendar and monitor it strictly. Because by my experience, I discovered that our legislators sometimes are too busy with the politics of the office rather than the real work that is involved. And therein lies the gap that the political party leadership must fill. And this is by, like I said, taking on issues, creating a debate platform, a platform on which experts will come in and discuss issues and reduce them to pieces of legislations so that the work is made easier and more detailed for members of parliament. And this is the only way I believe that a member of parliament anywhere in Nigeria under the party will be seen to be saying about the same thing on the same issues, because they've been thoroughly discussed and they've been agreed upon, and as couriers they are expected to just champion those positions in the National Assembly. And for the executive, the same goes for the executive. Policies of government must be developed through and together with the party, and were housed within the party, so that subsequent governments we guarantee continuity of programs and policies. These are some of the things we intend to do as a leadership of this new party.
Well, before we let you off, we just would want you to tell us what you think about the headline about elections not holden in some of the states, or like this one here, boldly written, why elections may not hold in 2015, attributed to Uranta on the front page of Nigerian Tribune. Well, some of the states in Northeast are APC states.
Yeah.
Are you skeptical? Are you optimistic that elections will hold in those states?
I'm very optimistic that elections will hold in those states because, indeed, during the heat of the crisis, elections took place already. Elections into local governments, took place, and they were successful. I don't know exactly how that happened, but whatever it was that was done by INEC, by the State Independent Electoral Commission at that level, the National Independent Electoral Commission, INEC, should be able to do same.
Does your party have any remedy to this insecurity in that part of the country?
You see, as a party, we've always believed that the problem of insecurity is not unconnected with the Hydra monster problem of corruption we've had in this country. And that's why some of our national leaders at the beginning of this insurgency had said, look, deal with the issue of corruption, deal with the issue of unemployment, deal with the issue of poverty. But somehow along the line, people felt, no, buy more military boots, buy more military hardwares. And they said that was the solution. And some of us kept saying, no, maybe you have to take the two side by side. That has not been done. I believe that an APC government will do that, create greater prosperity for the people. Look, the Northeast area, by some international data, I can't lay my hands on right now, is named one of the poorest regions of the world, one of the poorest areas, next to places like Darfur and so on and so forth. There is absolutely every relationship that if anybody seeks to find, will find the nexus, so to say, between poverty and insecurity. But we have a government in place who say no, that those people are simply crazy. They are simply they are simply unusual, and they must be made with force and so on and so forth, rather than solving some of those social problems. I believe the APC government will do everything to create a more stable environment in that place that is guaranteed. Look at what the federal government gave to that area for the purpose of maybe the development of the special fund that was given to 2 billion. What is 2 billion? That's the same amount that is given to musicians, and some clubs, who I have nothing against. But how does that go to meet with the poverty level in those areas? And like I said some time ago in one of the programs I had with you, this is a general problem. The destruction of the local government system in this country is also deeply responsible for these insecurity issues, because you find that these things start, on a very small scale, that ordinarily an effective local government system, administration in place, that is well funded, that has not been, whose funds have not been seized at any other level, can nip those kind of problems in the bud. But we have not seen that happening. Rather, what we've seen is that the problems grow bigger than the local government until they grow to the size the state will notice them. And even at that stage, the states say, well, we don't have the military at our disposal. Even the police is not answerable to us. And the problem has to grow further to the level it is identified at the federal level. At that level, at that instance, problems that could be solved with the use of a few millions, we'll have to have billions thrown at them.
Well, I think that's a good place for us to anchor it this morning. The APC Chairman, Kaduna State, Honorable Bala Bantex, would like to thank you so very much for being with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Well, Sunrise still takes another moment now, and we will return shortly. Stay with us.